Hi folks, time to check in on Sophie today, and I'm here too. Of course I'm always here, but you can't usually see me. So actually this is Sophie on this side, and this is Everest. Everest has actually passed up Sophie in weight gain, and I can tell, you probably can't tell, but I can tell his head is a little bit broader than Sophie. He's got a little more bulk to him. He also has a few more gray feathers on his forehead than Sophie. And I'm going to squeeze in here and mix some food. I fed Everest. Let's see how well Sophie eats. She's pretty hungry. It's late, and this is her first feeding. You know, I've been only feeding them twice a day, and Everest eats still twice as much as Sophie, because she doesn't usually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sophie, she's getting, really disinterested in eating formula for the most part, and but she's hungry right now, so that is a begging sound. Also, now is a good time to say, when you take a new baby home, if you see this kind of behavior, it's just leftover behavior. They're still weaned, and they're still, but they're used, they get used to this begging. So, I mean, Sophie's, at that age now where she's going to be weaned in, about a month. So, but through that month, she's begging at times, and that's definitely begging. It's kind of a hiss, sometimes a cry, but sometimes it's this really irritating hiss. And, begging from big babies is always kind of annoying, because it's it's coming from a fairly mature bird. It's not like it's not like a little baby that is just like, you're looking at, the needs there, they need to be fed, It's just like, yeah, she could be eating in her cage. She just didn't feel. Oh, I forgot to measure this first. I got to get the temp on this. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, sometimes I'll just shoot it back in if it's a little bit too hot. Let's double check this with my fingers. That makes sure there's no hot spots. And I don't worry about the germs on my hands. I'm not going to wear plastic rubber gloves and all that kind of thing. Have you ever seen the inside of a nest box of a parent-raised bird with all the bird poop that's in there? Believe me, I'm not worried about my hands. I'm a lot cleaner than when they're in a parent-raised box. I think a lot of guys, you know what? This is my true thought. I think a lot of people just put on those gloves and stuff like that when they're on YouTube, just so they don't hear bad comments from fanatics or people who are not knowledgeable about this stuff, who never saw the inside of a bird box, who never saw what it looks like out in the wild when these birds go to these spots and they just group up and then they just bird poop all over the place, and it's just like, yeah, believe me, I'm not gonna get my birds any problems by. Anyways, I wash my hands all the time. Come on, babe. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. You want to take the rest too? Yes. I'd be happy if you do. Everest, you already ate yours. Come on, babe. Come on, baby. Good girl. Oh, that's such a good girl. Yeah, all right. Successful feeding. I hate it when she, when she just like, okay, she's been closing up her throat at times. The second she does that, the food splatters out, gets all over my shirt, all over the walls, all over the window, depending on how hard I'm pressing, right? So I try to be moderate with what I'm doing there, and we got a bird nest back here. Someone asked me the other day, can you do a bird diaper? It's like, yeah, I don't know about that. And can you train them and potty train them and all this stuff? My answer to her was, that's just not my expertise. I don't train birds. I mean, I do a few things, what's necessary. But when I let them out to play, like, I don't worry about, I let them sit in a place where, they got stuff to chew on. You see, I actually redid this and put a little bit of a better toy on the end of this thing. And, come on, bear. Come on, let's clean you up a little bit. Come on. Mwah. Yes. You okay? Come on, let's clean that mess up. There we go. Now, after I feed them, I usually let them hang out. It's kind of nice that they can hang out together, and they're very well behaved with each other because we've been socializing them for a few weeks now. So this has been going really good. And Sophie's, come on, babe, up. She's getting a lot better at stepping up now, so she's doing good. Oh, she's such a good girl. Yes, she is. She gets hugs. She gets kisses. This is my favorite spot. I just love to hold him like this and keep him close. Oh. Yes, I let her chew on my fingers. She's always very gentle with that. And they just love being like nestled up with you and just and what's kind of nice, okay, we got to do down. Up, yeah, not on the shoulder. Okay, down. Good girl. Now, Everest is not, he's just starting, even though he's bigger, he's just starting to learn to perch and stuff like that. So, now with him, what I do is I usually just like lift up. Come on, up, babe. Up. Come on, up. See how he does? See how he's not lifting? But it's not so much that he's scared. He's not scared of me. He's just unsure of his own feet, and he's just not used to this maneuver that much. But this is what I notice. Like when I hold him like this, okay, he's clutching a little bit. But when I pick him up, come on, babe, come on, baby, up. I got you. Come on, up. Let go. No, I got you. Both feet. Come on. I got you. He's actually holding very lightly on my fingers right now. He's not squeezing very hard. He's showing me that he trusts me, and that okay, down. He's completely let go now. His claws are not digging into me, and that is what I love. I love when my babies completely trust me and completely know that that they're in good hands. Sophie Sophie's making more choices now because she's getting older. She's more independent. So you have to respect their choices, you know. If she's like, if she's like constantly like bobbing her head, okay, this is, do you want to be pet? She's like, no, not really. And Everest is kind of like, hey, I'm here. I'm gonna check you out with my beak. I gotta test, is this something I can dig into or what? No, you don't. So, yeah, I'm gonna get out of this frame now, and let me give you a little bit better of a shot. Let's kind of zoom in on these guys now a little bit, and zoom. Get a little closer look at their. That looks pretty blurry. It's probably not. It's probably my eyes because I can't see anymore. Oh yeah, that is very clear. What is wrong with my? Oh my goodness! It's glasses. It's like, okay, get the glasses on. Oh my goodness! I tell you, this getting old is not for sissies. It's not. It's really. It's like, oh my goodness. So, getting birds is not for people who like quiet. It is so noisy around here. Although, like right now, actually, this is kind of like a normal day. Like right now, Josie and Poppy are behind me. You know, I fed them about 10-15 minutes ago. They're okay. These guys will sit here quietly and just play. You know, sometimes they do reach up on the cabinets, and or that you can see that little wooden paper towel holder. And Sophie figured out how to turn the garbage disposal on back there. And the other day I had my headphones in. I had my headphones on and I couldn't really hear. And here she had turned. It's like, what is that? What is that buzz? And I took my headphones off, and I was listening to some music or something like that. Probably what happened is Josie started making noise. I put my headphones on to drown it out, put on some kind of music thing, and then I didn't hear that Sophie had turned the garbage disposal on by those switches behind her. And it's like, oh my goodness, it wasn't running for too long because, you know, Josie just makes noise for a couple of minutes and I grin and bear it, really. You know, if you're not feeling well and you have a headache or something like that, it's kind of annoying, but you know, that's life, you know, that's just the way it goes. Get over it, you know. I have a lot more fun just, even the things with my house, it's not the end of the world if they chewed something up on a cabinet or something like that. Yeah, I don't want them to do it, but if it happens, it's not the end of the world. What do I want to keep my house perfect for, and then just live here kind of in silence and in emptiness? It's like, no, this is part of the household, and yeah, they're going to do things, but so guess what? You see my cabinets, you know, you see what color they are? That's a very common color, antique walnut. So easy to buy stain and touch up and repair anything that's in antique walnut. It's one of the most common colors in the world. It's so unbelievably easy, you know. So you know, and get a little sandpaper or do whatever, you know, and that's kind of how that goes. So yeah, so it's not the end of the world for me. I just don't take, I don't know, I just don't take it all so seriously that, you know, the house is so important. And you can see my house has, you know, 1978 decor in it, those bricks. I'm not really that crazy about those bricks, but, you know, I don't know. If you've seen, my house is actually pretty nice, you know. We got these nice cabinets. Look at my little kitchen area. I put that nice updated stove thing in there, and I love the walnut. I put these vinyl floors in, and you know, they're pretty nice. But yeah, look, see, I mean, I let the dogs have the dog pillow there. They're in here with me. You know, I'm not afraid to put a few nails in the wall and hang my pots and pans there and stuff like that. And this, I'll show you the spot that the cockatoos love to. See that little spot at the top up there? Right up there? That's where there's a little bit of, you see that trim on the edge? I have restained that and sanded it down a little bit because they love to fly up there, and then sure enough they'll reach down and take a chunk out of that thing. But it's not the end of the world. It's like not only that, it's way up there. My vision is so bad I can't even hardly see it. But you don't see anything. Look, it's so easy to repair. Look at that. You probably wouldn't even notice that up there. So it's like, you know, relax, folks. It's like, yeah. I mean, I get so many people that, oh, I would never have a bird. You know, they're so messy and they're this and that, and it's just like, okay, well, that's for you. But for me, I'm a little more relaxed about it. I just don't. I like the living things, you know. It's like, yeah, it's nice to have a nice house and you know. But look, I raised 5 kids. I realize you buy something brand new, it's going to stay nice, you know. Maybe part of that first day. Not even the whole day, probably. You know, something's going to happen. And it's just like, hey, you have people over, stuff happens. You just get over it. You know, hey, the birds make noise. I had people over last Sunday, and Josie was going into one of his fits. And I just had to say, yeah, everybody, just, you know, just kind of relax. He'll be, oh my goodness, everybody's saying, oh my goodness, how do you live with this? Can you sleep at night? It's like, well, okay, they don't do it at night, you know. You know, maybe a fit at 7 o'clock for a few minutes or something like that. But it's not like you're up there at, you know, midnight, 10 o'clock going to bed, and all of a sudden they start making up that noise. You know, the only time they would do it is if you walked into the kitchen, you turned on the lights, and you woke them up and disturbed them, and they said, or you sat in the kitchen, everybody starts laughing and making noise, and then you start laughing. As soon as you get loud, they're like, oh, so am I invited? You know, and then they're gonna be like, okay, I didn't know we were having a party this late, but I'm all in, you know. And that's kind of how it goes. So folks, that's just a few anecdotal things about bird ownership. I know a lot of people watch these videos, not a lot, but you know, sometimes you get a couple thousand people watching the video that don't have birds, or that never have had a bird, or never had a big bird, especially a destructive bird like a cockatoo. So and the main thing is give them something to destroy, like that toy on the end that Everest is chewing on right now. That was part of a different toy that already got destroyed. And the idea is you give them toys that they can chew up and destroy. Don't give them something hard plastic or you know, that they can't bite through. And you know, the whole idea is to keep them happy. And look at him, he's grabbing at that, or her. That's Sophie. She's kind of reached up to the cabinet, but she didn't touch it. the whole idea, folks, is to give them something that they can destroy. And you take them out once in a while. You don't dote on them too much. Be moderate with your attention, and then you won't have a screamer. I mean, like my birds, they're actually pretty quiet. I don't know what they're going to do when you get them, because if you don't give them attention and you don't give them things that they can destroy, and you don't give them the right kind of care and food and diet and all these things, I don't know what they're going to do for you. But I know for me, they're actually not that bad. They're the least noisy of my birds, actually, when they're new and when they're babies like this. And what they grow into is going to be the product of their environment, and that's going to be what you do and how you interact with them, how you fulfill their needs and things like that. So just be mindful, moderation on the attention, moderation on holding. Don't be holding them for in your arms like I was holding them. Don't hold them like that for 2 hours a day. Look, 5 minutes like that, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You got kids that want to just hug them and hold them constantly. You say, okay, you've had the bird for 15 minutes now. Let's put it down, and let's put her back in her cage or over on her playpen. Let's put her down now. You can hold her later. I would rather see you do something like that, maybe at different times during the day than a whole hour at once. Because once you get that hour, then the bird just gets so used to it. And this is what I try to explain and teach people about this. If you, this is why my babies they're actually used to quietly sitting, because even though I'm here, I don't completely dote on them. I keep an eye on them. I watch them. I let them sit in their cage. They get accustomed to a little bit of attention, not overbearing attention, and they don't scream for it because they always get a little bit. So that keeps them happy. If you overdose them on attention, then that's going to set the level, what they're going to be used to for the next 2 years. And if you set that level and then in 2 years you cut off that level because your kids are bigger now and they want to play video games instead of holding the bird, then what's going to happen is that bird is going to just scream to be held the way that you held it for a year or 2 years like that already. They're not getting that anymore, and they will rebel. And this is how people end up where they can't manage their birds anymore, because they just ruined it, And this is why some people like to buy babies that haven't had other people's problems. This is why some people like to get puppies, that instead of, some people choose to get a puppy so that they can raise it the way that their home is accustomed to. That's fine. I have one dog that I got as a puppy, and I have one that I got as a 3-year-old just a couple of weeks ago when my 19-year-old Pomeranian died. And I just love that little boy so much. I've never had a boy dog. He's the cutest thing. He's a Corgi Pomeranian mix. Loki, come here. Come here, boy. Come here. Come here, I'm going to put you on the video. Come here, come on, let's see the video. Oh, this is my new pup. And he is 3 years old. Look at this. There you go, look up there. Look at that. Corgi Pomeranian. He's like short little legs and just the cutest face. Huh? Look at that. And just the most beautiful fur. And how you doing, Everest? You're okay. Sophie's a little older. And look how he's pretty cool. he's pretty cool with the birds. He knows they're my babies. He definitely knows they're my babies, and so he's not aggressive towards them at all. And so yeah, I didn't. His owners were getting rid of him, and when my dog died, I started watching the ads, and then I ended up with like the best dog ever. I just love this little guy. He is so awesome. He's such a good boy. Mwah. He even came when I called him. Good boy. All right. So, folks, a little bit more rambling than usual today. And I'm kind of a day late, actually. This is Tuesday, and usually I do my videos on Monday, but I don't know. I just I had a lot going on yesterday, and it just I thought today would be a better day to do it. But yeah, there you have it, folks. A little bit of new bird owner advice on how to approach the new baby, how to establish, you know, your routine once you get baby home, and a little bit about, you know, just consistency. Don't spoil them with too much attention. That's very important, folks, because establish a moderate routine. Always, I mean, it's really something. Moderation is such a characteristic that is valued in so many areas in life. It's just like, and this is also one of them where moderation will definitely, you know, it will definitely be your friend. So there you have it. These guys, now that they've eaten, they'll sit here pretty quietly, actually, and just kind of hang out, and I'll go back to my computer, start making food or cleaning or doing whatever, and they'll just kind of hang out. And then when Sophie takes a flight, then I'll say, okay, I'll put her back once or twice, and if she doesn't if she doesn't get the hint, then I just put her back in her cage, you know, and that's how it goes. But yeah, I like to let them sit out and just kind of socialize with me like this for a little bit. And you know, I have a different jungle gym that they can sit and play on. Sometimes they'll sit on that thing for quite a few hours. It's a little taller. You've seen it in some of my videos, and I put papers underneath it, and it catches the mess, and then I just lift it up, and it's easy to clean up after them. I don't know about potty training and all that stuff. That's just not for me. I'm not into that. I just don't really care. If they make a mess, I just wipe it up. I got, you know, multiple bottles of disinfectant that I keep pretty handy, and I go through a lot of paper towels. That's how I do it. I mean, if you've got a different way, you know, go for it. It's an experience. It's an adventure. Hey, whatever you figure out, you know. I've heard of people talking about potty training. It's like, that's not for me. I got other things I got to be doing that I don't have time for that, because I don't really just have like a pet. I do have some pet birds, but I don't have. But I still keep them together with males and females. I don't like them to sit in a cage alone, and so well, Josie and Poppy, excuse me, those are two males, but they're friendly with each other, and they're in a cage together too. I don't like to keep my birds alone in a cage, so because, you know, I'm busy, and I'm kind of